Hey everyone, Alex here with Off the Cuff Reviews. I am back again to bring you guys a special new video. This time we're going to be talking about the movie Hunter x Hunter. So let's get into it. So Hunter x Hunter stars Devon Siwa, and it tells the story of a hunter who goes and leaves his family behind to hunt down a rogue wolf. On the surface, this movie doesn't seem like it could be that good. It doesn't seem like it could really knock out of the park for most people. But here is the deal with this movie. I enjoyed it for the most part until the ending, which is what most people really are loving about this movie. And I didn't really like the ending at all. But before we get into the ending, I wanted to kind of go and break down the rest of the movie first. So the soundtrack of the movie is actually really good, and I think that it fits the theme of the movie. And if you are into abstract metal noises, rock music kind of thing, you will definitely enjoy this movie, especially the ending. But here's where the movie kind of went off the rails for me. There were so many jumbled things. There were so many little storylines going on that they were trying to, I guess, put in our faces, like the audience faces, because they wanted to put a sense of suspense and thrill and make it thrilling to watch. It wanted to put you on the edge of your seat to the very last second. And I think that they did a really good job at executing that. Even though a lot of the movie still feels predictable, which is one of my gripes with it, I think that what they did with the film in general was actually really good because it was very thrilling. It was very edge of your seat. Even though it was kind of like, it felt like the movie was on a lower budget, it still felt like they did a really good job with the plot on that aspect of it. The acting was good, the editing was good. The editing was actually really good throughout this entire film. I really enjoyed the editing. There were certain things though that left me mind boggled, especially with the way that the movie ended. Now, when you get to the ending, it is very almost predictable in a sense, but it is very cathartic at the same time. It is a very cathartic ending. You kind of have a release, like a cathartic release at the end of this movie. But did they earn that ending? In my opinion, no. I'm not going to spoil it and talk about what the ending was. But hear me out. They didn't deserve that ending at all, whatsoever. And had me on the edge of my seat up until literally the last 5 minutes of the movie. And even in those last 5 minutes, I was thinking, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Who's this character? Why is this happening? I had all these questions, and I'm like, I looked at the runtime, and I was like, oh my God, there's only 5 minutes. Because I was like, there's no way they could end this movie right now, right? I was like, it felt like they were getting closer to the end, but I felt like they couldn't just end the movie. And that's what they did. They just ended the movie. And it didn't feel like they earned that ending at all. They did not earn it. And that's what left a sour taste in my mouth for this movie. I feel like it could have been executed way better. They probably should have done a different route on the ending in general because of the fact that they didn't deserve this ending. They didn't deserve to have this cathartic release of an ending because of the fact that they led you up with all of these questions and they gave you that cathartic ending, but they didn't answer any of the questions that you had. So that's why they don't deserve that ending. If they at least answered some of the questions and not left it up to ambiguous interpretation, because that's not they didn't craft the movie to leave it ambiguous. You know what I mean? They crafted this movie to lead you up to an ending where they explained what happened. They not that they explained it through exposition or something, but that they at least gave you something to answer some of your questions, because they didn't answer any question at all. It's not even. And when you read about this movie and when you watch this movie and then you're left with all those questions, even if you enjoy the ending, you're left with all these questions and you try to go look it up. All I'm going to say is don't even look the movie up. Don't even look the movie up. Don't look up any of the notes from the director or the writer, because you will go down some weird rabbit hole that you don't want to go down, and it's not going to lead to anything else. It's not going to make it better for you. It's going to leave you with more questions than answers, and you're just going to be left there. You're just going to be left there like wondering, like, why? Just why? Like, just why? That's my question, is why? That's my final question. Why? Why did they do this? Why did they do this to me? Why did they put me through an hour and a half of this if they're not going to even answer any of my questions? There's so many questions I still have because nothing's answered. And you don't deserve to have an ambiguous ending when you don't explain even the slightest bit of what's happening. I don't need it to be thrown in my face of what's happening, but you can't have me question everything just to leave me on the edge of my seat up until the ending and then just end the movie, because that's not going to leave me satisfied. I need something to satisfy my questions that I have, and there's nothing that will satisfy that. Not with this, because I feel like they didn't complete the thought. It's a good thought that they had, but they didn't complete it, and that's why this movie doesn't 100% work for me. Although I do want it to work, and I really did think that the ending was edited really well, it was acted really well. Some of the effects at the end were superb, were fantastic. That's why it was so cathartic. It was very violent and gory. I could say that. Definitely will leave you wanting to drop your jaw, but at the same time, when you drop your jaw, you're also gonna be left there with a whole bunch of questions. So can you truly drop your jaw and really get into that ending if you have all these questions that are still not answered about the movie? You still don't get the movie? So how can I have a cathartic release at the end of this movie if I don't understand it? If I don't understand what I watched? That's where it left me. But I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's just not executed to its fullest potential. They could definitely have done something a little bit more with this. With all of that said, with all of these different things in mind, I'm actually still going to give this movie a B-, because I think that it is a really good concept. The acting was really good. The directing was really good. The editing was really good. The soundtrack was really good. The only thing that I don't like was the fact that they didn't execute this movie to its fullest potential by answering some of the actual questions that everyone is left with at the end. This shouldn't have been as ambiguous as it was. They should have at least explained some things, and you will understand what I mean when you watch it. But hey, if you like any of this content, movie reviews, top 10, reaction videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, or drop a comment or something. Do whatever you want. I'm so appreciative that you guys are watching. Thank you so much. I will see you on the flip side. Stay safe, everyone.